Hello and welcome to the Oikos Family Podcast, episode 31. In episode 30, I was very excited to share with you about our audiobook creation or creations. We are busy producing audiobooks for you. In fact, the books that we have that we feel would be of great value to you, we hope. We are narrating them and we are producing audiobooks, creating audiobooks for you. We hope that you'll be able to access these books and listen to them, and that it'll be nice and simple and easy, and that you will be blessed. So I hope you were blessed with episode 30, and I also hope that you've managed to listen to a few of the Missy short stories that were narrated by James Wood, that being our son and Missy's brother. So Missy, our daughter, wrote the book, and this might sound like promoting our daughter's writing and our son's narration. Perhaps I am. But the point is that I know why we're doing it. We're doing it to bless you, and we want you to be able to receive what we have to give. Why should we have something that we keep to ourselves when we've got it in our means to be able to share it? So that's what we're doing. I am so excited that technology gives us this ability to be able to narrate these books and upload them to a place where they're accessible to you on all different platforms. No matter what device or equipment or phone or system or whatever you have, you can actually access these audiobooks. They're attainable to you, I hope. I hope you're not going to find it difficult to get them. If you do have any struggle, well, we would like to help you to not have that struggle. So you can just get hold of us. In fact, let me just share with you that I met a couple on the weekend, an elderly couple, and I was so impressed with them because they actually brought up the topic of audiobooks because they told us they'd been listening to this audiobook, and that immediately got my attention. And I said, wait, what did you say? You've been listening to an audiobook? And they shared with me that they used to listen to tapes from the blind or tapes for the blind, and then the tapes started, those cassette tapes became CDs, and now they just get their audiobooks off Amazon. I was so impressed. They said they've got Amazon credit. When their families ask, what can we get you for your birthday or whatever, they say, just put some money on our Amazon account and we will buy audiobooks. And I mean, I was so impressed with the technical ability of this elderly couple who were actually had found a very simple, straightforward way to get the audiobooks they wanted to listen to. So, of course, we told them about the fact that we were creating audiobooks, and I was very excited to be able to let them know that we produce audiobooks and that we are actually putting every audiobook we produce on Amazon. So you can imagine what developed after that. Of course, they went off to Amazon to go and have a look at the audiobooks that we've been producing here at Oikos. So now they can listen to them. Isn't that wonderful? So I do hope that you've been able to access the audiobooks and see what is available for you. And it is only the beginning. This is just the very beginning of this development here in Oikos, and we're just going to keep them coming. That's the plan. We hope to keep them coming. James, our son, is committed to narration. He wants to. He loves it. He's really, really enjoying doing this read aloud. He keeps telling me that he says, Mom, you've been reading aloud for years and years and years, and now I'm only just starting. So he feels that he's got a lot of practice to do for something that I just feel is very natural and easy. You might not feel that yourself as a parent or person who's listening to this. You might not feel quite so confident to read aloud. I know that I've had moms at Moms Retreat saying that they actually don't like reading aloud because they don't feel they sound nice when they read aloud. They read too loud or too fast or they stumble or whatever, and so they don't feel confident with reading aloud. And so then for that mom, what I say is have the audiobook read aloud for you all, the whole family, because there is such a vast selection of audiobooks available, and you can get children's stories. And then you can sit and listen to the book, and while you all do some activity together, while you're building a puzzle, for example, you can all be listening to the audiobook. So you see, this is why I'm here on this podcast. I'm here to encourage you to consume audiobooks, to listen to them. And I am putting a lot of emphasis on audiobooks in episode 30 and 31 because of the fact that I just believe that they are hugely valuable. In fact, it's not just me who thinks that audiobooks are of great value, because it is something that is really gaining popularity. The fact that I met this elderly couple on the weekend and heard that they've been, listeners of audiobooks for so many years, and they've just changed with the times. First it was cassette tapes, and then it was CDs, and now they're listening to audiobooks on their phone. It's really amazing. So what excites me is you can be going somewhere with your phone in your pocket, and if you've got audiobooks that you have chosen and downloaded onto your phone, you can just listen to that when you get in your car. Even if you're going around the corner to go and buy some milk, you've got 5 minutes or 15 minutes to listen to a chapter or 2 or 3. Let me just share with you how I've done that, because I used to have a phone that didn't have a huge amount of data capacity on it. So I would try and stream what I was listening to, because I couldn't download it because there wasn't much space on my phone to hold that kind of data. However, they've now got so clever that audiobooks are really small. They don't take a whole, huge chunk of data like, for example, a video would. So you could actually go and select a few audiobooks and download them onto your phone, so you don't become Wi-Fi dependent, where if you're streaming it at home, if you've got Wi-Fi at home or internet connectivity, and then you go out and now you can't listen to it because you're not on Wi-Fi anymore, and so on and so forth. Well, if you just download it to your phone, you don't have to be dependent now on it being streamed, in which case it's more stable. It's not going to go on and off, break up and so on. And also, when you finish listening to that book on your phone, you can just delete it and then download the next book that you're going to listen to. And the good news is that they take very little space. Now, I can't tell you how much space and, how many gigabytes or whatever, because I actually don't know. But what I do know is since my next upgraded phone actually had a huge capacity for data. And so now I have a library of audiobooks on my phone, and I can just choose, okay, I feel like listening to this one now. And when it's finished, I can rate it and then move on to the next one. Or I could even be listening to a few different kinds of books at the same time. One could be a testimony book, another one could be just a novel. So you see, I don't have to be limited to just listening to one book at a time, because now I have more capacity on my phone, which is becoming more of the norm these days. So here I am again on this podcast chatting on about audiobooks, all to encourage you to access this if you can. And even if you're not in the habit of it at the moment, and it might take a little bit of doing to get into being able to start listening to audiobooks, I'm just here to encourage you to do it, because of the fact that I believe it's going to be a support to you. That's what I believe. So I hope that that's going to encourage you. And that's what this is all about, to encourage you. I'm just thinking an even simpler way to help you to get into it, and that is I'm going to ask Jamie to put a link in the show notes on this podcast. You know how they do, put a link below or whatever that you can just click on, and it'll just take you straight to where the different platforms where you can get audiobooks. And be ready, because once you get into this, if you aren't already, you will see that there's an enormous selection. It's just libraries and libraries and libraries and libraries of books. So it could even be that there's a particular book that you would really, really like to, that you've been wanting to listen to or lay your hands on, and you can't because it's unavailable wherever you've tried. And it might just be available as an audiobook. So you can actually go search for that. The way I've done that is I have just gone to Google and I've put whatever the title is followed by audiobook, and boom, there it's come right at the top of the page, and it's linked me to where I can actually go and access that particular audiobook. So I've had a lot of very good experience with this audiobook. One, from reading aloud to our children all the years. So it was like they were having live audiobooks and now they can consume their audiobooks via the various means that I have shared. And I can as well as a parent or just as an individual. And I can share that any audiobook that I've found that I've listened to that has some very great significance to it that would be helpful to somebody who might be going through a struggle of some kind. I can share that particular book with them, and then I know that actually they're getting the support from somebody else's sharing. as well. Just little bits here and there that we can all support and help one another, I hope. That's the idea. So today I want to support and encourage you in you spending time on getting in the habit of audiobook listening because I believe it's going to help you. Okay, but for now, let me share another little piece of Missy short stories. In fact, I'm just going to share a small poem. I won't share a short story. I'll just share one of the poems that Jamie read from Missy short stories, and it's called The Stars at Night.
The Stars Tonight. There is a star in the sky tonight. It has a little twinkle and some light, shining so bright on this cold black night. A gift from our Father that's up so high in the black bright sky.
And then that is where we will end. So thank you for listening. Thank you for being with me here on episode 31. And I look forward to speaking to you and sharing with you again at episode 32. Bye for now.